Well, no rainbows at this time of day, but at least there's a lot of wonderful bird song that will make a nice background. I have a journal for you from 526. The first one of that day, the Mayan day, was 3 monkey. And it's got some good links with it. So you'll want to click over to the transcripts so you can get those. Okay, my heart is soaring. I just listened to plants playing a synthesizer. Yes, creating music. It's done via the difference in electrical signal between the leaf and the roots. Quite stunning, amazing, and a delight. Like I say, I have a link here so you can see what I saw. There are so many more frequencies than our 3D senses currently register. So, in addition to multidimensions, we also have the potential to expand our reception of the frequency ranges right here in our own 3D. Oh my God, I am in heart for this, and it is almost blowing me away. The window it opens is into a territory so vast, imagination runs rampant. Maybe that's another sense we could cultivate to good effect, imagination. In our trek into higher dimensions, perhaps what we call imagination in 3D is something else and more practical in higher dimensions. Back in the early 70s, I indulged in hallucinogens recreationally. I'd like to say that I was doing it to explore consciousness or some other exalted reason, but it wasn't. It was really just for fun. Anyway, I remember sitting on a sofa in my living room one time and seeing the pretty but familiar colorful patterns dancing on the wall across from me. As I studied them, I realized two things. Though I was used to looking at the ground or the walls or surfaces around me to see such displays, it came to me that they could just as easily be in the air between me and the wall and only seen on the wall due to the contrast in their colors against the flat color behind them. The thought came as a surprise. I was so used to thinking of these displays as being on the wall, on the sidewalk, which often turned into water, or on whatever surface. These were a safe distance away, whereas being in the air could bring them right up close and personal. It felt a wee bit invasive. Now, it seems kind of funny now, but back then it was a mind opener. The second thing was, I suspect, actually communicated to me, though it appeared as a thought. It was that one could not see something that did not exist. If it wasn't in this dimension, then it could be in another one. Now, this too was stunning. Another invasion. Things I had taken as pretty and amusing nothings now came alive, as it were, and having a reality of their own, which I had denied to them. It's the odd little idea planted at just the right time that can open someone's consciousness, expand it out into new vistas. Well, not expand it, I guess, since that requires the person's choice to expand. It can but present the vistas to our view, and that's enough. No need for forcing such things at such sensitive times. I have never desired to go back and be young again, being more content where I am. Though the body grows a bit creaky it's more than compensated for by the inner growth and expansion that time seems to bring or be coincident with. Yet now, as I look on this, I realize that were I somehow to be forced to go back and live this life again from youth, this is one area I would definitely alter. Instead of mindless fun, I would be far more present with and intent on those trips. The focus would switch over to the spiritual, the deeply expansive. It's hard to believe as I look back that I could have been so deeply sleepily to miss such opportunities. Oh well, it is what it is. And so today brings yet another first. The first time I found anything at all in the past worth changing. Overall, I'm so grateful to be me that I feel that all that happened was perfect. It brought me here, didn't it? When I'm in heart, I can't seem to find anything in the now that needs improving. Though I suppose it's obvious, I gave up perfection as any kind of a reasonable goal for 3D. It only drives one nuts to measure up against such a standard. Besides, each one's definition of perfection would be something different. Mine is quite different than most. The biggest difference maker would be that between heart-centered and head-centered being. And that one is just huge. I find perfection in the imperfect. I find beauty everywhere I look, as long as it's from heart. We once thought no life could possibly exist, much less thrive in the deeps of the ocean or around the volcanic vents there. Well, now we know better. The fault was in our vision, not the reality. And isn't that generally the way of it? What's called for so often is an expansion of vision or a shift of perspective. The beauty is there to be seen. Do you have heart vision? I can answer that for you. You surely do. Have you discovered it yet is the better question. We all have it, even the blind, halt, and lame. And heart vision is always 20/20, as in perfect. One never needs glasses when viewing from heart. It's the mind that needs special glasses to adapt to heart vision. Poor mind. Parenthetically, it may be slow, but it generally catches up if you're determined. What is heart vision? The ability to see with new eyes, mostly. It's to take thought out of the equation. Heart vision just sees isness, just captures what is right there before it without any requirements or judgments. Mind vision or regular vision always includes some sort of judging. Is this good enough? Will it cause problems? Is it pretty or not? Yada yada. So we let that go. Life itself is a whole new experience when we dispense with judgment. Criticism is judgment. Our mind talk is constantly judging for most of us. Maybe that's why it's so unpleasant to endure. Yet, something we're as used to as the sun rising each day. How very sad, huh? Yet, it doesn't have to be. We can change it. All that's required is a bit of determination and vision. The trek into heart is a great help, but not strictly required. Plenty of people have found it their way. Even if we only let go of self-judgment, the world will still be a much finer residence. What say you? Are you up for it? To give up all self-directed judgment is a large undertaking, but not if you're sufficiently determined. We are divine, which works best for us when we remember it. Otherwise, it too sits on the shelf as a lovely potential, but not so useful. Let's take our potentials out and dust them off, huh? What do you say? Are you game? The first step in love can be surrendering judgment. It's really a kindness we do to self and the world. If you want to be kind to others while you're at it, that won't hurt, though it's not necessary. That part will come on its own once you've weeded your internal garden, your belief garden of all self-judgment. Just imagine a world where no angry, pointless, snide, or unkind comments were made on YouTube videos. Wow, huh? Seems such a stretch, I know, but it isn't. We are the forgotten creators of our own world. Let's dust off remembrance of this fact. Rinse and repeat. Kindness to self must come first, else the kindness we share with others will be phony, have no solid substance to it. Silence is preferable to phony kindness, to phony anything. It's a real time to be authentic, if there ever was such a time. Time to strip everything down to the bare bones reality underlying. Let's keep dusting. Here's another one for your consideration. A favorite saying I may have invented. I've been using it so long, I forgot where it came from, and it's this. It's just as harmful to take offense as it is to give offense. This one is worthy of some heart pondering. It's pretty deep. Time to start noticing each time we take offense and looking closer within. The answer to everything is found within. You know, the kingdom's in there. And I know I'm not the only one to have discovered that. Sure, the kingdom is within, but so is everything else. It's quite amazing. The endless vastness of all vistas within. I truly find both infinity and eternity in there. Do check it out. Yet there are certain things that are never found there, such as judgment or criticism of anyone or anything. Amazingly, one can live a life with them quite absent. This would deeply shock many people. Those who think they have fine taste and are discriminating would be surprised at the level of judgment that's involved. Leave them to it, though. Let us all remember that no one's life is ours to control but our own. Her life is her business, not yours or mine. And this includes our children, my friends. They don't deserve judgment of any kind. Isolate the action, if you like, and discuss that. Seek to modify it, but not the child. Never criticize a child. It leaves a mark that you'd be sorry for could you but see it or feel it from their perspective. And if you want to see it, look to your own childhood. We've all been marked this way, unfortunately. Yet it will not be unfortunate if we use it to our gain and that of our children. We can heal. But a great shift of vision is required. We have this inside, all that we require. We lack nothing. We are divine. Yet it requires the constant act of free will, of choices made. Each little choice builds on another, creating the edifice of our life. What sort of castle are you building? Is it a beautiful one? Perhaps a bit quirky like mine is, but beautiful? If it's any comfort, please know that you can't make a mistake. Now be still in heart to hear that. Let me say it again. You can't make a mistake. just so you stay out of mind, which can misinterpret this one terribly. You'll be fine with this. Now, here's a tidbit for mind. Since there is no linear time, but only the simultaneous now, then there is no perfection to be gained, since gain implies the passage of time. It's rather funny, really. Seen this way, we already are ascended and on the other side. Since theoretically the only thing between us and that is the passage of time, and since time in that sense doesn't really exist, then we're already ascended and free. The only thing required then may be the vision to shift in order to perceive this. And such vision shifts often call for a change in beliefs. Sometimes only one belief lies in the way, but often far more. Now, I notice that has been jerking a little, the video, so let me turn a couple of things off here. Pardon me. Let's see, and I can close this one. Yep. Oh dear, I'm pushing the wrong buttons. Okay. Close. Apologies. I have a left-handed mouse. When I used to work, way back when, I had two computers. And so I had a mouse on the left and a mouse on the right, and I got pretty good with it, but it's been a while. Okay, so vision shift. It doesn't matter though, never fear, have no worries. Remember, your great perfection is already achieved. Sit with that. Reach over and take from it what you require for the now here. Go on, it's yours just as much as anything here you can touch, see, or taste. Remember, simultaneous time. It's a very big deal and a way of perception in your own higher dimensional self. So own it. Is that enough? Sometimes it seems like the journal could go on forever, and it likely could, but I like to be sensitive to time. Better to have the video watched than ignored for being too long. We're all just making fools of ourselves anyway, so let's lighten up and remember joy in the midst of it. Having fun. Once we cross over, we'll look back and say, oh my God, I can't believe I did, said, and believed all that stuff. It was really such nonsense. We can't take ourselves too seriously, friends. The more we can take many steps back and be less identified with the grand drama, the 3D play, the better. The more we let go of the false identity, the more the real one can shine through. I found it works that way. We gain by surrendering every time, even though that seems backwards. Let go and let flow. And let's keep remembering to have lots of fun. Hey, it's free.